Hey guys, what's going on? Professor here, and today I'm coming at you with another LEGO Star Wars video. Today we're going to be doing a different type of video. I'm going to be doing an early opinions video. I'm going to be going over the new 2020 winter LEGO Star Wars sets, the ones that have been revealed at least. I know there's more that are rumored to either be coming out or just sets that haven't been revealed yet that may be coming out around the same time as these ones. I know these have been out for a little while, so for those of you that haven't seen the pictures yet, for whatever reason, this will also kind of be that if you want to check these out. But for the most part, this will just be going over my opinions on each of these sets that has been revealed up to this point that are going to be coming out in winter of 2020. And as always, if you do enjoy, don't forget to go down there, smash that like button, and if you want to support the channel, please consider subscribing. And without any further ado, let's jump straight into it. There are 11 sets on this list, so we're going to start out with number 11, where I've put the 4 Plus Snowspeeder. This one is supposed to be retailing for $20 and comes with 92 pieces. Obviously, the price per piece on this one isn't going to be great because it's a 4 Plus set. And while I don't hate this set, I actually think this is probably one of the best, if not the best, 4 Plus sets in the Star Wars line. The 4 Plus line just obviously isn't something that appeals to me, being a somewhat older LEGO Star Wars fan. I really enjoy the building aspect of LEGO. That's something that I really like about buying these sets, and obviously the junior sets really kind of takes away from that because they're very simplistic. The pieces are very large. So, I mean, there really isn't necessarily anything wrong with this set. It comes with the 2 nice minifigures. You got your Rebel Pilot and your Snowtrooper. Overall, I think this is really nice. The Snowspeeder design is very good. Comes with a nice little Snowtrooper speeder there, and then a nice little radar kind of side build thing. So overall, I think this is a very nice 4 Plus set, just not something that I'm personally interested in, and that's why it comes in at the bottom of my list there. Moving on to the next set, we have the T-16 Skyhopper versus the Bantha Microfighters. This one is supposed to retail for $20 and comes with 198 pieces. And while the Microfighters line is generally something that I really enjoy, these 2 specific selections for the Microfighter isn't necessarily something that I love. The Dewback versus the Escape Pod was kind of interesting, but I also I wasn't really crazy about those either. I really love the way that they were able to design these. I love the brick-built Bantha. I think that's really cool. The T-16 Skyhopper does also look very nice. It looks a little weird without the actual pilot inside of it. But nothing actually wrong with the designs themselves. I just think it's a weird selection for the Microfighters line. Obviously, you have the T-16 pilot and the Tusken Raider as the minifigures included in this set. Some stud shooters in the T-16. Like I said, nothing wrong with this set. It's just not something that super appeals to me, even though the designs in it are very nice. But just like that, not necessarily my favorite, and that's why it's lower on the list there. But moving on to the next set, we have the Luke Skywalker's Landspeeder. This one retails for $30, comes with 236 pieces. And aside from the $30 price tag, obviously that is something I feel like I've been hearing people complain about. This is mostly just because I feel like we've been bombarded recently by all these Luke Skywalker's Landspeeders, and I just need some time to breathe from this set. It's not that I don't like this set. A New Hope is one of my favorite Star Wars movies. Obviously, this is where that comes from, but this is just not something that I don't think any LEGO Star Wars fans really wanted or needed at this point. The one that just recently came off shelves is still kind of available, still really hasn't picked up any value on the secondary market. It's relatively cheap considering how much you can buy it for. So for $30 to have a set like this re-released this soon, just not something that I'm really looking forward to. I also don't really like that little side build. I understand why they put it in there to kind of include the Jawa as well, but just include this Landspeeder by itself. Lastly, though, obviously, the Landspeeder itself is designed very nicely. It's not that I don't like the actual Landspeeder design. It's mostly just that we just had one of these recently, and the build on the side isn't that great. The minifigures are okay. Obviously, you get Luke Skywalker, C-3PO's thrown in there, and then you get a Jawa included as well. But overall, just way too soon of a re-release. I think they should have waited longer on this one, and that's why this one's a little bit lower on the list. Moving on to the next one, though, we have Obi-Wan's Hutt, retail for $30, comes with 200 pieces, and I think this is a very nice set. This kind of gets into the area of this list where it's not that I necessarily don't like these sets. These are kind of really good sets. I just had to rank them in the order that I like them specifically. I think this is a really nice playset, similar to that kind of like Death Star Escape, the Hutt Medical Chamber, these kind of new little mini playsets that we're getting recently. I really like this. It does rank lower on this list, excuse me, because of the fact that being this kind of like Tatooine-like scenery, it just feels really familiar and feels like something that we've seen recently. We haven't ever gotten an Obi-Wan's Hutt, so this is a very new set, but just not something that I was super excited about initially when I heard that this was coming out. It has grown on me. Obviously, you can see right here, this is what it looks like when it's collapsed all together on the box. You can see it when it's nice and open. But overall, I think this is a very nice set. Minifigures, okay, you get an Obi-Wan, a Luke Skywalker, an R2-D2, and a Tusken Raider. Nothing super crazy there in terms of the minifigures, but just a nice play set, maybe a little overpriced at $30, but something we haven't seen before, and something that as I kind of go through these sets more and more, something that I look forward to coming out in 2020. Moving on to the next one, we have another play set. This is the Duel on Mustafar, retailing for $20, 208 pieces included in this one. And this is more similar to what we've been seeing with another type of play set, your kind of $20 duel type play set. Obviously, we had the initial one from Episode 7, The Force Awakens, with Kylo Ren and Rey, and then there have been some other ones that have also been come out recently. This is definitely a set that I know people have been asking for. There was only one that was released way back in, I think, 2005. And not that this doesn't deliver on what I wanted. Obviously, you got that nice scenery, you got the pads that Obi-Wan and Anakin are kind of floating around on, and you also have some side scenery. I just would have personally liked to see this set recreated in a larger scale and a larger price point, maybe with some more minifigures, just some more scenery in general. I definitely think that this is a set that will sell well. Obviously, you get some really nice minifigures included in this one. You have the capability to kind of fold it so that Anakin and Obi-Wan get closer together and move it so they're farther apart. The scenery is very nice. The minifigures included in this one are actually exclusive because, as you can see right here, there's kind of like some tears and such on their robes. I really love the expressions that are included on their faces. Overall, a very nice set for $20, continuing on with that kind of like little dual play set theme, and a set that I am somewhat looking forward to. Moving on to number 5, we have the Resistance Y-Wing Microfighter. This one ranks a little bit lower than the next set on my list, which is the Kylo Ren Shuttle Microfighter, just because this set was released as a large set. Most recently on Triple Force Friday, you have the large Resistance Y-Wing in this same color scheme. The reason this one ranks so high is partially because of the minifigure. I really love the minifigure. Blanking on the name, even though I remembered it before this video, but blanking on the name, but a pilot that will be appearing in Episode 9. This is the only other set other than the large Y-Wing that you can get this minifigure in, so a very nice way, cheap set to get a nice little minifigure included. And the other reason is just because we had the other yellow version of the Y-Wing in microfighter form released earlier, so seeing another Y-Wing, not super exciting, but I do really love that nice red color scheme and the ease of accessibility for a nice minifigure. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for this one. You got some flick fire missiles on the side, very nicely designed for a microfighter, as the majority of them are, but that's pretty much it going on with this set. So like I said, moving on to the next one, we have the other microfighter that is pairing with this one. This one is the Kylo Ren Shuttle Microfighter, and this one is completely new and comes with, obviously, the Kylo Ren minifigure. I love the minifigure. I love the design that they did on his mask for the Episode 9 version of this minifigure. Obviously, you have some stud shooters there on the wings. I don't think the wings will like collapse or anything like that. I believe they'll be able to fold up and down. I don't know that for sure, but obviously they nailed the color design on this one, the nice black coloring. You got some red, trans red highlights on it. Overall, just a very nicely designed microfighter, like many of the other ones, with, once again, a nice minifigure that's included in here. and should pair very well with the Resistance Y-Wing microfighter that it's coming with. I forgot to mention both of these sets, both microfighters, will retail for $10. The Y-Wing microfighter with 86 pieces, and this one with 72 pieces. But moving on to the top four, we have Poe Dameron's X-Wing fighter coming in right here. This one will be for $90, 761 pieces. And while I've heard that this set may be a little bit overpriced to some, I think at $90, considering inflation and everything, the version that we got in the past, it's pretty comparable. Maybe a little bit overpriced, yes, but overall a very, I think, fair price for most people. And personally, this one ranks higher on my list compared to the other Poe Dameron's X-Wing, just because I love the color scheme that's included in this one. You have the nice overall white coloring on the wing edge of the wings and then the front. And then you have the very nice orange color that pairs with it with some nice light blue highlights there. I really love this set. If it weren't for the price and just the fact that we did get this back when Episode 7 came out. So, similar to Luke Skywalker's Land Speeder, it is a little bit quick, in my opinion, of a re-release. But, obviously, the Poe Dameron's X-Wing from the past has been off shelves for a little bit. And, once again, a very nicely designed X-Wing. The other reason this one is a little bit lower on the list is just because of the number of X-Wings that have come out recently. Obviously, you have the Poe Dameron's X-Wing from 4 years ago, but then also last summer, in 2018, we just had a regular Rebel X-Wing released, and so there's just been, similar to the Luke's Land Speeder, just they've been throwing X-Wings at us, and I would kind of like a break from this. And so while I do love the design, it is a little bit overpriced, and just the bombardment of X-Wings leaves this one a little lower. A nice look at the minifigures here. You get a nice Knight of Ren, R2-D2 thrown in. Obviously, you get Poe Dameron and another Resistance minifigure. But that's pretty much it for this one. So let's move on to number 3, where we have the Mandalorian Battle Pack, the most recently released set on this list. This one will be $15, 102 pieces, and I really don't have much to say about this one. This is a very nice, I guess you could say, re-release or recreation of the old Mandalorian Battle Pack. Very similar speeder. What I really love about this is the kind of like darker, kind of neutral color theme to this. The only gripe that I have, and I've heard it from a ton of people, is the two super brightly colored Mandalorian minifigures. You got that bright blue and the bright green, and I just don't think it melds very well with the rest of this set. But otherwise, I think this is something that could definitely be bought in numbers. You can kind of mix and match everything with all the different Mandalorians. The speeder is very nice. The little rock design to the side I actually think is very nice. It works well with what this set really wants to do. And overall, this is definitely one of the sets that I will probably be picking up from the Winter 2020 sets. Moving on to number 2. Oh, sorry. Actually forgot I had another picture here. Another look at the Mandalorian Battle Pack right there. But moving on to number 2, we have the Sith TIE Fighter, or the TIE Dagger, as it is being called. This one will be retailing for $80, 470 pieces, and by far this is the most overpriced set on this list. I do think that this won't necessarily sell as well as it could just because of that price point. I definitely think this will sell well just because the design of this is just absolutely amazing. I love those kind of like triangles, but then right underneath you have that nice red accent on it. I think it looks absolutely amazing. I love the way that this was designed. It kind of obviously reminds you of the old TIE fighters, but is just different enough to really give you a different feeling. I absolutely love this set. There's not much to say about it other than the fact that it is designed absolutely amazingly well with a great color scheme. You get in some nice minifigures here. You get obviously the First Order TIE Pilot, you get another Knight of Ren, and then you get Finn included in this one as well. Other than the price, I honestly don't have anything much more to say about it other than that it is designed extremely well. And unfortunately, I probably won't be able to pick this one up because of the price, but if it was a little bit lower, this is definitely one that I would be looking to pick up. And the number 1 set that I'm looking forward to from Winter 2020 is going to be the Sith Troopers Battle Pack. $15, 105 pieces. I have only one complaint about this one, and that is that I wish there was a second, like, Sith trooper included in this one, as opposed to the 2 jetpack troopers, or I'm not entirely sure what the troopers are actually called. But I really wish that it had the 2 just regular Sith troopers. Otherwise, I think this speeder build is absolutely amazing. I like the inclusion of the officer, because I think that if it was just a ton of Sith troopers, it would get a little redundant at some point. So you can kind of build up a nice little group of officers. You got some Sith troopers, and then obviously you got those jetpack guys right there in the back. But guys, I mean, that's pretty much it for this one. Just a very nicely designed little speeder with some great minifigures included. And that's why I put this one at number 1. And I hope you guys did enjoy this little early kind of opinions video about what I think is my favorites, at least before I have any of them for the Winter 2020 LEGO Star Wars Wave. If you guys did enjoy, don't forget to go down there, smash that like button, and if you want to support the channel, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!